Happy 17th birthday to Joomla. To all of us. Happy birthday to all of us. Hey there, Joomla fans. Tim Davis here. I'm a Joomla fan too. Thanks for tuning in to Watch Me Work live stream number 172 here on the Basic Joomla Tutorials YouTube channel, where I show you my favorite tools, extensions, and tips for building and maintaining Joomla sites. I also work on Joomla sites, so if you are looking to hire someone long-term, short-term, or even just to get you out of a spot that you're in, send me an email, tim@cybersalt.com. Today's video is brought to you by our channel sponsor, mysites.guru. Head on over to mysites.guru and get a free site audit for your Joomla site. And while you're there, check out all the tools and information that will save you time and money managing one or multiple Joomla sites. And as usual, just subscribe using the coupon code BASICJoomla. If you do, you get your first month free. And it lets them know that you came through me. All right, everybody. Yes, it is good to be with you. I'm glad that my live stream is falling on Joomla's birthday today, number 17. So what we're going to do is hang out together. We're going to look at the 10 new features in Joomla 4.2, which was released yesterday, the day before the birthday. And we are just, put in chat one of your favorite things about Joomla or what it's meant for you. I want to thank all the volunteers and everyone who's worked on Joomla down through the years. It has had a huge impact on my life. It's an exciting part of my life. I'm making a living from it now too, so I appreciate everybody. And I appreciate all of you who have been a big part of helping me build up this channel and giving me the motivation to keep going. So without further ado, let's turn our attention to the screen. We've got Bjorn in chat, Ivor and Mary. Happy birthday to you all. And it's good to be back together with you all. So, all right. Just the one bit of news, though, about Joomla 4.2. As of right now, that what I can see is there the release that was released yesterday, 4.2.0, was breaking some people's sites when they updated to it. So installing it is fine, and some sites update fine. But I think some of the older Joomla 4 versions, if people were making jumps, there was a problem. So the update is being removed for a while. I'm sure they will get it fixed very quickly. But so you can't migrate an existing Joomla 4 site to the 4.2 until they get that fixed out. Mary says makes her feel old. Seems like yesterday she was using Mambo. I got a Facebook reminder today that I had posted that happy birthday to Joomla on the 12th birthday. I thought, man, time is flying by. And Mary, we are old. Not as old as some people, but we're not as young as some people either. All right, so keep that in mind. You can't update to 4.2, and you can't update to 4.2 right now from other Joomla 4 versions until they fix out the little thing that was affecting some people. And of course, not all birthday presents show up on your birthday, right? Sometimes you order them, maybe they come a few days late. So let's get going. I'm going to work through the release here. I'll paste that in chat. It's also in the video description below, and we are just going to check out the different features that we have here. All right. We will scroll down. What's new in Joomla 4.2? Now, just to show you on my desktop here, I've got Joomla 3.1 ready to fire up here in case. Let me log into here. Cybersalt J41. Yes, there we go. That's what we want. Just to compare. We've got our page here, and we're logged into a Joomla 4.2 site here. So the first thing we're going to check out, keyboard shortcuts for accessibility. Now, I had to get a little bit of help from my team yesterday to figure out how this works. I thought they were combination shortcuts, but they're actually sort of a delayed shortcut, and I'll tell you what I mean about that. But this is a new plugin developed from the Google Summer of Code 21 accessibility project, and basically what it does is it brings up a bunch of shortcuts that there's a bunch of shortcuts that you can use that will help you do things in certain contexts in Joomla. Now, it says here that you have to turn on the plugin for this. So let's take a look at our site here. That's where we're going here. We're going to go System. We're going to go Plugins. And at the top, we'll sort by the highest number. Oh, here on the left. And you will see right here, system keyboard shortcuts. Now, when I went in, this was already published. So if you're not getting the keyboard shortcuts, make sure you go in and that is published. If we click on here, you'll see here's what they are. Now, you might think, well, wait a second here. How am I going to be able to remember all of these? Well, there's a way to bring them up. Let me show you how that works. So we've got, let's see, the home dashboard here. All right, so we're going to close this here. We're in plugins. Now, if I hit J and then hit H, don't hold the J down. No, that didn't do. Hold on for a second here. J, oh, that was J and H was help. I want the home dashboard. D. All right. If I hit J on my keyboard, I'm not holding it down, I just type J, and then I hit D, look at that. It takes me to the home menu. Now, if you want to, yes, and graphics says, or follow Joomla on social media, yes, to find out what's up with the latest. And that's how I have this link, actually. And hello to Allison, my fellow Canuck, and Chuck. So when we look in here, we'll just see the best way to bring up all of the shortcuts. They're listed by going J plus X. Now remember, you're not going holding J down and hitting X. You are actually hitting J, and then you're hitting X. And then here is your access to your keyboard shortcuts. So you can save and close if you're in an article. You can cancel. You can go new, search, things like that. Now, of course, what you want to do when you're in an article, let's say we're in the typography article here, you don't want to have your cursor in here when you hit J, because you're just going to type a J. So you do want to be out. You do want to be clicked out. But then what we can do is, let's see, J and X brings this up. We want to save. So we can go J and S, which saves the article there, and it closed it. So that is really cool. So you want to explore some of those features, and the shortcuts are there. And we're going to see more shortcuts that can show up, because this is something extension developers can build upon there. So that's the first new thing we see in Joomla 4.2. So let me close this. J and save new would be awesome. Yes. And maybe someone will come up with that. Yeah, which reminds me, later on I'm going to talk about something that's it's newish. It's not a new feature, but it's something that has been updated in saving articles thing. But I don't want to get off track here. So, all right, the second thing, multi-factor authentication. Okay, this replaces two-factor authentication. So let's open this up here. Now this is pretty cool. There's a lot that you can read here. You can follow through the links, but basically there's some new ways that you can add two-factor authentication. So two-factor authentication is to log into something, you need to know something and you need to have something. So the first factor is you need to know your username and, let's say, your password. But then you also have to have something. So maybe it's a code on your phone, or maybe it's a code that's emailed to you, or maybe it is a USB key that you have. So for instance, I have this YubiKey here that plugs into my USB. It's a little security key, so when it's in there, some sites know that yes, that is me using it. And so for improved two-factor authentication, so we can go into the back end of our site here. We can go System. We can go Plugins. Now we're already sorting in order here. And we've got a bunch of new authentication tools that are here. Now, that we can turn on. Now, extra features. Now, what are some of the things that we can do here? Because there's two things here that are very similar. You can get a security code sent to you. That's the one I think I'm just going to demonstrate. I'll visit this in another video. But let's go authentication code by email. I'm going to turn that on. All right. And now we can force this to be enabled so that people have to use it. They use a time-limited 6-digit security code sent to you by email, and the length that the code is good for: 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, however long. All right, so we turn this on. Oh, I forgot to enable it. Authentication code by email. We'll enable that one. And now what we're going to do is go to users, and we're going to go to manage. We're just going to see my user here. We'll go in. Hello, Michael. Happy birthday, Michael. And let's see. We've got WebAuthn. Oh, this is something else we will look at here. I think if I got this right, because I set that to force, I'm going to go close. I'm going to log out. And now I'm going to log in with this profile right here. And now it says I've been sent a 6-digit code to my email. So I'm going to just get that off screen here. Open up my email. I'll show you the email when it gets here. Just see here. And there we go. Yeah, so here's the email here. Check this out. It says multi-factor authentication on my Joomla. Now that's the name of the site. It's just called my Joomla. It's just a plain install. Your authentication code is 583703. I'll go like this. We'll paste that in there, and we will validate. And now I've proven through two-factor authentication that I am who I am. And so even if someone got my username and my password and tried to log into this site, they would not be able to, because they would need to have the code that is emailed to them. So this is one of the things that is new in Joomla 4. Let's go back to plugins here. And so, and there's some other things that you can set up here as well. I have to sort by order again here. A USB key. Here's the YubiKey one that was in there before. Now you can use that. And so that's a whole area to explore. But that's new in Joomla 4.2, and that's pretty cool. All right. Oh yeah. So now back to the third thing. Windows Hello support in WebAuthn. Now this is for Windows. So if you're using a Mac, it's okay. Just chill and wait while we get to this point. There, you can get some tea or something like that. Although you won't have enough time for tea. Let's check it out. Basically, this allows your site login to happen in connection with the PIN on your Windows computer that you have set up. And that is another cool thing for two-factor, like a two-factor authentication, because if someone sits down at your computer and goes to log in with your username and password, or even just your username into the back end of your Joomla site, they have to be able to enter in the PIN that's on your Windows. And let me show you how that works. All right, here we go. Fixed to web authentication, verification code. Which one is this? Let me just, web authentication, this one. All right. Multi-factor authentication. All browsers support it. Most browsers offer device-specific authentication. Password or biometrics, fingerprint sensor, face scan. No, I don't think this is the one that I'm looking for. Let me just read this here. Refactored web authentic. It must be this one. It must be this one. Yes, and a good point, Allison. Great for multi-person home. I'm going to enable this. I almost think that this is not it. But let's just see what happens here. Now that I have enabled that, I'm going to go to go to users, manage users, I go into my profile, and now here's the W3C Web Authentication login. And I'm going to add a new authenticator. And okay, here we go. Now I get asked for the password for my Windows security. I put that in, and now it's being set up. Now check out this crazy thing here. I'll make sure I've published it. Now when I log out, watch this. I'm going to type in my username. I'm not even going to put a password in, even though you need a password for your account, but you could put in something or anything and never even remember it again. I'm going to click login. Oh, web authentication. I type in my Windows password, and I'm in the Joomla site. How crazy is that? I didn't even need to put in the first password, just need to know the username. Because what have I got? I have something which is my computer or my Windows computer, and I also have I know the username. So that is pretty neat. Now, of course, you're going to need passwords for your accounts, because let's say you're logging in via your phone. Well, what you could do is log into your phone and set up something else, because as we saw, this WebAuthn and with Windows Hello Support. Okay, it's the Windows Hello Support that we just used. But if you've got a phone, you could log in with your biometrics once you've got that set up on your site. And I'm going to have to play around with that on my phone and maybe make a video on that, because I can capture my phone with this. But yeah, it's pretty cool. You just set that up once and you'll be able to just use your Windows code to get in there. Excellent. Mary says that might be useful for her. Great. All right, so now I'm just going to undo this here, because there's some other things that we will look at, and I just want to make sure that I haven't done something that's going to mess things up. So I'm going to turn that off on my site, and I'm going to go to System and to Plugins, and then I'm going to have to sort again. Whoops-a-daisy. Let's not skip ahead there. We're going to have to, so there's a little teaser to something else that's new, and we'll turn that off for now. All right, I'm going to close that. So now what are we up to here? User-defined hide table columns. Well, you just saw that, and that we can read here is that we have the ability to change which columns are visible when we're looking at tables of information. So right back to the plugins here, check this out. You'll notice it just says status, plugin, and ID. And up here we see 4 of 7 columns. Hello, Jose. Welcome to the live stream and happy Joomla birthday to you. Now, if I hit this drop down here, you'll see that I've turned off type, element, and access. These are normally the columns that are always there. But maybe when you are working on plugins, you don't want to see, oh, Bjorn's very happy about that. You don't want to see some of these columns. It's too much information. And so you just say, okay, I don't necessarily need to see the status. I want to see the name. I don't care what type it is, or element, or access. And in fact, but I do want to maybe have the ID number because I sort often. There you go. You've got this. It's working. And now, even though I'm on a wide screen here, so there's quite a bit of traffic there, there is a lot less information to follow. And I think if we change, look at that, on a narrower screen, you would just have the little bit of information. So that's going to be really nice on mobile. And this is remembered based on, let's see what it says here. Let's see here. The choice of which column to display is stored in local storage, so it's persistent for you in your browser for that site. Justina, welcome to the channel here. You just migrated 3 Joomla sites to version 4 and didn't know that could be done. Yes, well, it can only be done as of yesterday, so That is cool. Congratulations on your 3 successful migrations. So let's take a look how this looks somewhere else. Let's go to the menu here. Let's go to content and articles. And I think here we have 9 of 9 columns here. Maybe you don't care for maybe you're never using the featured articles column. You're not featuring articles on your website. You're using a different method. Then let's just get rid of that so you can't see it. It's access. It's maybe your site's always, everything's access is public. You might want to know who the author is. You don't care about the hits. And there you go. You've cleaned up your page, and it's a much nicer display there. Yes, Alice's Be Still Her Heart. Look at this. Yeah, that is really nice. All right. So that's the 4th thing here. All right, let's go here. Mary's hoping that we can add columns at some point, like the intro image. Oh, yeah, that would be cool. And Justina likes the new interface of the admin area. Yeah, I like it too. I'm getting used to it, and yeah, I agree with you. It's coming along. All right, now the 5th one here. All right, is allow typing in the media field, and basically what this one tells us. And I'll close this here. Tells us is that you can now type in the image value in the media field when you're putting when you're inserting media using the core media manager. Let me show you. We've got an article here. We'll go to typography. Let's say that you are going to set up images and that for this this particular article, the intro image, and you've got. We'll just pick an image here. We'll pick the logo. We select. What you can do now is you can actually go in here and you can change the path or the information of what goes in here. Now you'll notice that curiously it's put in a whole bunch of stuff like width and height, and I've never even noticed that before. Images powered by powered underscore by .png, local or Joomla image, local images. I don't know what all that code is. Before, whatever was in there, you just had to deal with. But the cool thing here is that this new Joomla 4.2, you can change whatever is in here. So, in fact, if you don't want that stuff. Now, the stuff that happens after the hash, this hash here is not part of your link anyway. So it's not going to affect things. So whatever's happening here and the purpose for this, which I don't know, you could just leave in there. It's probably fine. But having said that, well, maybe this has something to do with accessibility. I don't know. Anyways, long story short is you can type in here. And let's say on the server you changed the name of this to powered by. You could actually then correct the name in there without having to select it again. Mary says Bjorn says if you by the data to site extension, you can see intro image. Oh, okay. Mary is saying, yes, I'm using data to site on a couple of sites, but would love it to be core. Okay, interesting. Don't know totally what you guys are talking about there, but maybe I should check that out. I'll make a quick little note to myself. Data to site. All right. I think you guys have mentioned that before. Anyways, all right, that's the 5th one, and we're halfway through the things that are new here. And so we're going to close, and let's go back to here. And I'm going to close this here. And we get to, okay, we're through number 5. So I did have just for a very, very, very quick second, I was just going to have a mid-roll advertisement. Mentioned shout out to mysites.guru and Phil Taylor. You know, a lot. I like making these videos, and I probably would. Well, I made them lots when I didn't have a sponsorship for the channel. But I'll tell you, it's really nice for me to be able to have the sponsorship that I have from mysites.guru for on the channel, because it just makes it really nice, and it's helping me to make plans for the channel and do other things. So I know a lot of people skip the beginning of my videos because they're used to that ad. So head to mysites.guru, get a free site audit for your Joomla site, and you will be happy that you did it. mysites.guru. Okay, commercial over. Mid-roll commercial over. Here we go. I got you guys. Couldn't skip that one. All right. Indicate if the category is not published. Another really cool one here. Let's say basically this will show in your articles if the category they belong to is unpublished. When we go into back here, we go to content. Let's go to categories, and let's go to the blog category. Let's just unpublish it. Now let's go view the articles. Now let's say we're kind of working away on things like, oh, I have to finish working on this template article here. Yeah, that's all great. Okay, good. I'm going to save and close it. There we go. And say, oh, wait a second here. Oh, look, this is not going to show up because the category is unpublished, which is a nice little indicator, just a reminder that if a category got unpublished, or maybe a long time ago you unpublished a category, you weren't using it, you started using it again, you save an article to that category, and then it's like, oh, wait a second, that's not published. Just another reminder so you don't do something accidentally like that. Just a little thing. And of course, if we go to categories, and then we publish that again, and we go to articles, we'll see, yeah, everything's all good and back to normal. Should be with a red background. Oh, that's a good suggestion, Bjorn. You could I don't know where you would suggest that. And also you could probably do that with custom CSS for the default template in default template here in the admin area for Joomla. I don't even remember what its name is. System templates, site templates, administrator templates. It is called, Atom, A-T-U-M. All right. Yeah, good idea. All right, I beat you. I found it before you typed it, Bjorn. Okay, so that is number 6. All right, allowed to disable session metadata tracking for guest users. All right. So the summary of the change here is that this should improve performance for sites that do not use registration or the login feature. All right. So let's say that you have a Joomla site. You don't have anyone registering. You don't have anyone logging in. It's just very static. It's not a membership site. You're presenting the information. Well, then why have Joomla collect information on the people just visiting? I mean, there's really no need for that. It's just one extra thing to do, so you can turn that off. And to turn that off, if I remember right, we're going to go to global configuration up here on the right. And we're going to go to the system tab. All right, you usually start out the site, go to system, go down, and just say, yeah, don't track guest session metadata. And that is a new option here in Joomla 4.2. And it'll give your site probably, who knows, maybe in micro milliseconds of advantage, but it's one less thing that your site's doing. So why collect that? Why have that there? And just zoom through it. So if you don't have people logging into your site, go ahead and just don't track the guest session meta. In fact, yeah, so that's a cool one. They're all cool. All right. Reduce the number of permission columns. All right, so we're going to look this up here. And here's reduce the number of permission columns. 5 of these in the permission columns were always there. All right. But they're always the same for everything. Create no site login, administrator login. I don't know. We'll see. We'll compare the two right here. Let's close this. Let's go. If we go to content and no, if we go to users, manage users. Okay, I have to log into this guy again here. Manage users. See, under that we see permissions. And this is where you can see the permissions for this particular user. Now, so they're allowed, this is a super user, so everything's green. Allowed to site login, admin logins allowed, web services. Anyways, some of these are true, always true. Now, if we go to, this is a Joomla 4.2 site, we go to users and go to manage, and we click permissions. Now look, site login, administrator login, up here are moved to the top, because this is true for everything. If you you're allowed to, if this user has permission to use the site login or the admin login, it's going to be the same for all these other assets. So it just sort of tidies up the column. So when we switch back, look, it's like, wow, that's a lot of check marks there, right? But when we go to 4.2 now, we have just a few things, less redundant ones. So when you check the permissions of a user, you go and say, hey, are they allowed to log into the site? Oh, yes, they are. Great. If they're, it says they're a super user. Yeah, okay. And if you change that, then it's just a little bit tighter presentation of the information there. I don't use this tool very much, but part of the reason I don't use it very much is it's very overwhelming when you click on something and just see a whole raft of all of this. So it's nice that we got rid of 5 columns that were always the same in every column. So bit better workflow there. All right, smart search, allow fuzzy word matching. All right, so we've got 2 left to go, and then I'm going to talk to you about something that's newish, but not totally new, and give you a hint. Alexandra Elise and I developed a plugin for it, and now that plugin's redundant as of 4.2. Smart search, allow fuzzy word matching. Now, I don't necessarily fully understand this one, but it's probably because I haven't run into it. I don't usually do too much stuff with search. It's one of the areas I don't know too much about in Joomla. It's just there, it works. But a regular request was to be able to also find compound words. Smart search right now matches the words exactly, even though it uses a stemmer to find common roots for a word. However, those stemmers can only work on single words and fail on compound words, like they are very common in, for example, the German language. So this PR allows switching to matching method between exact matches, matching words starting with a given term, and matching words which just contain the term in a random position. Now, to get to that, we want to go to the configuration of Smart Search. So we will go here to components. Now when you click Smart Search, nothing really opens up. You gotta go to something. So we'll just go to index, the index page. And now up here under options in the top right, you can now select, will Smart Search match exactly what's being searched for? Will it match words beginning with the search term, or will it match words containing the search term anywhere? So right now it's on set to match exactly. So why don't we go up to this default site here, and we're going to look for, let's look for OWER. I think this is how it will work. OWER in the word powerful. OWER. All right, so we search, and when we scroll down, no results found. All right, so now let's look for words beginning with the search term, OWER. All right, now I'm going to search again. I'm going to search a second time just to make sure it refreshed. And there's no results found. Now let's go and say, hey, just look in words and look for the search term anywhere inside of a word. I hope this helps. I think I've got it right. I'm going to search twice here just because the page refreshes. And now look at that. It found, oh, well, it didn't find the one I thought. Assuming OR is required, the following result was found. Cauliflower. Now, oh, I might have been wrong here because, let's just see here. Oh, because this is, this word powerful is actually probably in a module. Ah, that's why. Anyways, it still worked just to show you that you can change it so that someone's searching for a term, it'll search everywhere in the whole word, in the whole site. And look at that. In all of the content of the demo content on in a Joomla 4 install like this, there's only one place that OWER occurs. Now let's see if we can find something. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, moon. There's got to be a couple places that have OO. Let's see if there's OON. We won't spend too much time on this, but we'll search. We'll scroll down. Yeah, look, we've got macaroon and moon in love. We love Joomla and the moon. So new in Joomla 4.2, you can change the settings for word match in the smart search options, not just to match exactly or words beginning with the search term, but you can look for characters anywhere in the site. So that's kind of a fun thing too. I'm going to switch that back to default for those that need it. And apparently there's some language, like it says in German, with compound words, two words that are put together. If you're looking for it, just can't find them in the middle. So. All right. Would also be great too. I mean, if you want to look for something that's inside of a word, I don't know. You could search for cats. That's a whole word, but something that is in, I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, it's there. Now you know that you can change that. Okay. Last one here. Package filter in the extensions manage page. Okay. This one is not going to show so well on a core site right now, but it's all I've got in 4.2 right now. And that is this. In the extensions manager page, there's now a filter so that you can view by a package. And basically what that is let's say you download and install convert forms, and it installs the component and some things, but also it installs some plugins and some various things. And then you go to the extension manager and you want to see everything that is installed that's related to that one product. Now it used to be that you had to go to let's see here, we're going to go to here, we're going to go to extensions, sorry, system extensions manage. It used to be that you would oh no, let's turn on all the columns. Oh, we're going to go package ID. All right, now there are no I don't know if there are any let's see here. Yes, package ID 221. Oh, the language ones, right. Now, let me just turn this, location, author, and folder. I'm going to turn this all back on. So it used to be that if you wanted to see everything that ran, that belonged to a certain package or extension you had installed in Joomla, you'd have to search for it and hope that the name appeared in it. So this, for instance, is a common thing with 404 SH404 SCF from Weebler. There's a bunch of different things, so I would just search for 404. But when I search for 404 and that, I also, I get nothing there, so that's good. I would also get maybe other extensions that have 404 in there. If I'm looking for a tool that has redirect in a lot of the, in the name, or RED in it, I would also get redirects. Anyways, so what this filter allows you to do is this. You can actually select the package that something belongs to. In the core Joomla 4.2 install, there is only one package, and that's the language package, right? And so now if I want to see everything that is installed in here that's part of the language package, I can filter, and look, here we go. We've got the English for site, English for administrator, the API, and we've got the package here. Now you can't remove this because this is locked and it's protected. It's in Joomla. But what I read was very interesting here, that Nick mentions here, is that it's very important that users only ever try to uninstall the package extension, not the individual extensions a package contains. All right. Failing to do so will cause all sorts of problems. Now, so if we just on this point, let me just skip out to, let's see. I'm just going to go to, oh, what's the site? Let's just go here. Let's just go here. I'm going to go to my cybersalt.com site. All right. And I'm just going to log into there. Yeah, because it's a Joomla 4 site now. This is not 4.2, so we won't be able to filter the way that we want. But I've got some things to update here. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. But if we go to System and Extensions and Manage, look at all the different packages that there are. 10.155, 10.553, and let's say I want to see the stuff that's in 4 SEO, and I type for SEO. I could type for SEO. Here's a bunch of stuff. And basically what Nick is saying is that if I want it to uninstall for SEO, and I've done this before with extensions, if you select everything and go uninstall, sometimes it removes the component first, and then it goes to remove the package, and the package says, okay, you want to remove the whole package? And it says, okay, first, okay, I'll remove the component. And then it says, oh, I can't find the component, and you get an error. And sometimes you can break a site because you've removed something before a whole package got removed or other things got removed. And so this is really interesting, and I'll do a standalone video on this. Nick says that if you're going to remove something, just click on the package and uninstall, and it should remove everything that comes with it. Now, everything here is named for SEO. The other trick here is that what if Unique has somehow has something else that belongs to for SEO, but it doesn't have for SEO in the name? I don't know. Maybe he's added a special library for something that doesn't belong to him. I don't know. Well, I can't see everything that's in there. Now, it would be nice if I could filter by the package, and that is exactly what this new feature, this new filter in Joomla 4.2 allows you to do. Instead of filtering by the name and hoping you guess everything, or filtering by a name and having what you're looking for, but there's other extensions that have SEO in the name, you can now filter by the package, and it'll just show you everything that belongs, and then you can go in and deal with that. So that is good, and I was really happy about that advice because we had I've broken some stuff in the past, just uninstalling everything. That's how it's supposed to work. Now, I don't know if it works for every extension, because I think there have been extensions where we tried doing just there were extensions where I've tried doing just the package and something didn't work. But anyways, I'll stick with Nick on this one, as I stick with Nick on a lot of things for how things should be done. And that, yeah, so we can now filter by, whoops, is this 4.2? Yeah. We can now filter by the different packages. And of course, in the core one, the only one that's here is the English language pack, and it's there on its own. All right, so that's the 10 things that are new in Joomla 4. Let's take a look at some of the things that are down here. Accessibility, and these I've not looked at. I was just going to cover what's new today, but let me just close a few windows here. All right. So the accessibility plugin, update and fixes. Well, let's have a look and read through that. And we'll get to that one. It's coming up very soon that I mentioned about that makes the plugin Alexander and I did redundant now. It's not needed in 4.2. They changed the icons and accessibility from the Google Material font because of privacy to use emojis. All right. So you now have something that you can choose under the plugin System Accessibility. Why don't we go and see that? System plugins. Let's go ACC, filtering there. Plugins, system, additional, what was that? Additional accessibility. Yeah, additional accessibility features. It's not published. I'll turn that on. We can go in here and you have this setting. So for this, so for the front end or the back end or both, you can use emojis, or if you really want to use the Google Material font, you can go back to that. So that's a change that was in there. And let's see, this plugin adds an accessibility toolbar to your site with additional accessibility options. Once enabled, the toolbar can be opened either with a mouse or with the hotkey Control-Alt-A or Control-Option-A on a Mac OS. Hey, let's give this a try. Control-Alt-A. All right, Control-Alt-A. Is it? Did I publish it? Sure, I published it. Oh, I only published it for administrator. Whoops. Oh, I guess I could have tested it in here. Oh, and here it is down here in the bottom left. Nice. Accessibility option. Oh, wow. Look at that. Increase text size, decrease text size, increase text spacing. Oh, I've never even looked at this. Well, I guess I better do a tutorial on that. Additional accessibility features. That's cool. And here it is. If we refresh on the front page, the icon shows up down here, but it was also Control, Alt, and A, and it brings it up like that. Well, how about that? The things you learn when you're reading. That's cool. All right. Okay, so next, let's see here. All right, let's read this one here. Okay, so that's pretty cool. I'm going to leave that on. Next one, Joomla updater improvements. Okay. Replaces this now made against 4.2. It's been, what does this do? Change to made. Improve language string about Joomla update information unavailable. Extensions which do not falsely blame third parties for user actions. Okay. Make the confirmation checkboxes optional, controlled by component options, allowing advanced users to streamline the update process, batch update checks to prevent server errors. So this has to do with in Joomla updating, and there's a change of some language in here. So instead of update information unavailable, I guess instead of what it sounds like, instead of blaming third-party developers, 3PDs, saying this developer has not put any information in here. There's some things I think that can't have information in there. I think I was talking to Tassos about that because some of his plugins said, hey, there's no information available. And I was saying, hey, can you do that? And he said, it's super hard. And, you know, it can't be done. So if Tassos says that, I'm fine. I'm fine with that. But anyway, so a little bit change in the verbiage so that when you're updating, it just says it's not available. Better than saying the developer hasn't done this. So, all right, so that's a change, which we might read in the... yeah, I wonder if we do this. Oh, I've got to... No, Control O. How do I... I want to put this back to the proper size. Maybe the best... just close this. And now it's big. Uh-oh, how do I reset this size? Increase. All right, I'm going to decrease the text size. Let's get back to where it looks normal. All right. That's close enough for me. It's interesting because Control-0 on the browser did not do it. All right, so we'll close that there. And, let's just go system, no, components. Yeah, Joomla update. Update Joomla. Check for updates. It'll say no. So of course, yeah, we can't really test this one on this site because it's not going to show it's not going to, there's no extensions on here even to test. So, okay. All right, let's close that and go next. Added permissions to the media manager actions. Okay. Passes the global permissions from the media manager to the client app. The item can define a flag as well as specify the item itself can be edited or deleted. This allows external adapters to define also per item requests. All right. So basically, for media manager, you can assign actions to passes global permissions from the media manager. Oh, here we got a picture here. Delete permission is denied. No delete button. However, there's the delete item action. This is from testing. All right, so somewhere in the media manager, there's some permissions that are changed, and you can give or take away permissions to what it says. Add permissions ACL to the media manager actions. So you can give some people permission to delete something or do some of the actions on them. All right. All right. So let's close that one. And now look at here it is right here. Added save button to front end article editing to save and stay in the article. All right. So we're going to open that one here. At this point, I'm just going to show you altidigi.com. Alexander Elise and I developed this plugin which would put, it's called AD front end edit buttons. It will put a save and close button on the front and actually puts a proper save button on there. So this extension will still work for Joomla 3. If you want to have save and close, save and new, and save as copy, which is actually not in Joomla 4.2, save as copy. I don't think it is. We'll see in a second. Our plugin still works in Joomla 3, but as a Joomla 4.2, it's really basically redundant. So it was a good idea, and obviously, and someone's put it in the core. Let's see it in action here. I'm going to log in. Oh, this is... well, I guess I could probably decrease this in size too to something a bit normal for me. Okay, let's log into J42. Now watch this. I'm going to log in. I'll close that. I'm going to go to this template here, and I'm going to edit this article in the front. And when we scroll down to the bottom, yeah, Mary says so much for my millions. Yeah, I pretty much had that conclusion about so much for my millions earlier on than this happened, but yes. But look, now we have down here save and close. Oh, save as copy and cancel. What's the one that's missing here? Save. Oh, save and new. There is no save and new button. Whoops. But you got save and close, save as copy, and cancel. And what would happen if we go back to this site here, the Joomla 3.1 site. Let me just show you what used to happen here. A lot of us already know what it was, but we will log in, and I would go to your template. We'll edit here. Notice down here, the buttons you get is save as copy. But if you save this, it closed. All right? And then you had to, where is it? You had to go back. Now, it's part of core. If you save, it actually will reopen again. And so you can work in the front end. You can save, and this will close it. You can save as a copy, which is great. They don't have save as new, but it's there. And that's, yeah, so that's nice. I'm happy that it's there. Am I a little melancholy about it? Yes, but I'll tell you, this was a fun thing to try. I've got lots of other Joomla extension ideas, but Alexander is very busy with projects, and I'm not a programmer, so I'm okay with it, and it was fun to try. So, and listen, I've got, if you're going to have successes, you're going to have a lot of things that you tried that didn't work. So, but anyways, hooray for all of us. Hooray for all of us. Save and close, save as copy is working in the front end of the site. And I am happy about that. I'm happy for the world. It's something for years that I even talked to someone who's one of the Joomla founders, and I said, hey, I'd like to have this button. They said it can't be done. Alexandra did it, and now someone else has done it, and it's in the core. So hooray for them. All right, so let's close that, and let's stick to the new here. Let's close this. Let's keep going through this list here. Added ordering parameters to web service requests. All right, this one I think I'm going to be reading because I don't do anything with web services. It's powerful though, but adds the possibility of passing ordering parameters to COM content web service requests. Yeah, again, I don't know much about web services, but if you do, and you've wished that you could order parameters that are sent to them, then you will like Joomla 4.2. Upload button only available once the user click the checkbox that they are prepared. Interesting. Let's see what that one is. Is this added disabled state to the upload and install button? System update Joomla. Go to System Update Joomla. Click on Update your site by manually uploading the update package. Button and checkbox are disabled initially. Upload a file greater than 40 megabytes. Checkbox and button are still disabled. Upload a file less than 40 megabytes. The checkbox is enabled. Check in the box. The button gets enabled. Again, upload a file greater than 40 megabytes. Checkbox and button get disabled again. So that's what they're testing. And what they have fixed. Oh, there's one of those psychedelic barber mirrors there. So something to do with the function of the buttons there. All right. That's all right. I can enable, disable, upload, and install button on the basis of checkbox value. All right. If you want to know more about that, read more on that. This is probably just something I'm going to be using and won't even notice, like so many things in Joomla. All right. Looks like more enabled use of form process in form model. Wow. Okay. This is the. I do not understand this one, but that's okay because I'm not a coder. But it's there. It's in 4.2. So those who are programmers will probably say, "Oh, that's so great to finally do that." Convert log type field to fancy select. Okay. Converts a log type field into a fancy select so all events can be disabled. Okay. This has to do let's see. Go to the user profile in the activity log tab where you can also define a list of extensions for sending notifications. Yeah, why don't we do that? Because that's a cool area. It's here. Here we go. Content. That's right. Users. Manage users. I'm going to go into here. And then I'm going to go user action logs. So if I want to be emailed about notifications of user actions, I've got the events to mail. Is this the right area? Yeah. Okay, they're talking about that. Something has changed in here. Fancy list. Okay, there's discussion in there you can follow up on, but apparently you can select. Oh, look at the. Oh, this stays open too. That's nice. You can select a bunch of things, and now it's fancy for what you're selecting in here. Is that different than before? Why don't we just try this out? Let's go to users, manage. Whoops, got to log into this guy again. And let's go into administrator. Let's go into user action logs. Oh, okay. All right. Instead of having to kind of just peck and just having it like this, they have changed it So, oh, so this is that's what that's called, eh? Fancy select. All right. Yeah, I like that. Way better for selecting them all. And of course, if you want to delete them, hopefully your X's are all in the same location. That sounds ominous. And from a dating perspective or relationship perspective, if your X's are all in the same places, it sounds like maybe you might have killed them and buried them in the same place. But anyways, email fancy select there. Okay, that's cool. I dig it. All right, we're moving along here, and then we'll stop. And queue requests made from the quick icon plugins. All right. Requests made by quick icon plugins are now enqueued and executed serially. There's another, that's a rough term, executed serially. Each request starts after the previous one has finished, thereby avoiding triggering the server's denial of service protection. All right, so here we see that in the network tab of your browser's developer tool, all quick icon requests execute at the same time. All right, so you got a quick icon. These are when you log into the back end, it says, hey, there's a new Joomla version. Hey, there's new extensions. Hey, blah, 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 blah. They all fire at the same time. And so they have been changed so that they fire one after another. And the advantage, it would seem, from reading here, is that if you get too many fires like firing off like that, you might trigger someone's anti-spam stuff. So that's good. Have things be a little bit more in order there. Nice. All right. Made Media Manager folder selectory accessible. Oh, now remember, hold on, I'm going to back out of this and open this in a new tab. And close this, and I'm going to close that. I'm going to close that too, just to keep things down to dull roar. So, also raised directly by a blind user of Joomla as part of the Joomla user group in London, where he was unable to utilize the Media Manager without a mouse because of this specific issue. So this, are we on the same? Made Media Manager folder selector accessible. So now, instead of before, a tree was rendered, but there's no way to select the area to navigate between items for someone who had accessibility issues. But afterwards, the tree renders, you can move through items in a tree once selected with the up and down arrows for items in the same level of nesting, and use the left-right arrows to move between layers. So they've changed the menu for managing the Media Manager folder so that it's accessible with an accessibility tool. Good for them. All right, workflow notification, no recipient. This is the last one that we'll see here. And it is edit all the transitions so they have enable workflows, edit all the transitions so they have notifications enabled, create a new user in the user group manager, create a new article, save and close, edit the article, check that the new user is receiving notification emails for the change in state. So obviously before there's no notification sent, after no notification sent is displayed. Oh, okay, so they've added an alert on workflow so that if you've done something in a workflow and there's no notification sent and you think there should be, then it will tell you, hey, your workflow's not flowing the way that you maybe think that it is. All right, well, lots of nice goodies in there. What's your favorite one in there of those? Be kind to me. Don't say that it's the save button. If it is, go ahead and say it. But maybe of it. What did we look at here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12, and many more. So we got 12 improvements. We've got 10 New things. What's your favorite one that of the new things? I would have to say, well, I'm probably most stoked. Shortcuts 2000. Hello, Rick Spawn. How are you? Good to see you. Happy Joomla birthday. Mary says it's where you can add the image by copy paste, not having to wait for the system to find it. Oh, that's in the media manager. Another use for being able to type in that field. Cool. Just looking. I would have to say some of these. I'm most impressed. Ivor says the authentication possibilities. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed by that. I'm pretty impressed by that. Although I will say, yeah, I think the authentication stuff. Allison says columns tidy. She likes that. Bjorn likes columns. Now, Justina, does the accessibility feature help with 508 compliance? I have to Google that. What 508 compliance is? Yes, I believe that it. Oh, does it help with it? I'm not a lawyer. I didn't even play a lawyer on TV, but I would have to say that if making the site more, putting accessibility tools on the site is going to definitely help the case for not suing you because your site's not accessible. And of course, that's one of the great things about Joomla 4 is that it is accessible. It's focused on that, and what I have seen in the back end too that's working really nicely is this. Let's go to I think if we go to here and go to global configuration, yes, up here, toggle inline help. This is really nice too, and this is a big feature. The reason this inline help is toggled now is because this is not accessibility compatible. The way that it's set up for whatever reason, so they have it toggled. So it makes for a cleaner view here anyways. But yeah, Joomla 4 is all about accessibility. So I think if you're using Joomla 4, you're going to be using a lot of the core stuff that's accessible. You are also going to do your accessibility testing. Use the accessibility testing tool that's built into Joomla in the articles. Just try. And I think, again, I'm not a lawyer, I think just trying with what's available now will remove the problems of people that are suing because something's not accessible. I know, I don't know. I mean, you just got to try, and you just got to at least reasonably try. You know, if someone goes to a site and it's absolutely 100% inaccessible, or they can't do things, then yeah, so then you're not only, I mean, you're not only keeping up with the legal stuff, you're not fulfilling the legal requirements, but the moral requirements too. Let's make sites accessible to as many people as possible, especially with the tools and the people here in the Joomla team that are helping us to do that. So I think just trying would be good. Now, do you have to have a tool? I don't know. You'd have to see if there's a tool or a way to. I know without those things. So for instance, even on this page, if I hit Control Plus in the browser, it will open. And I think too, as long as sites are compatible, then the tools that people that have accessibility issues with can work with the site. So I would guess that it's not going to hurt to have that on there, but I don't know if there's any requirement in the law that you have to have a tool where people can use things. But I mean, think about it. That's a pretty cool tool. That's pretty nice. Big cursor. Before I became a Christian, I was a big cursor. Used to curse all the time. Big cursor. Look at that. It's big. Underline links, if that's not what's happening. Cool. Gray hues. All right, there you go. Invert colors. That's awesome. decrease, and like text spacing is nice too if you want it decreased. That's of course ridiculous, but if you want things spread out a bit between words, awesome. It's really is nice. Allison says the auth possibilities will be helpful with in your new site for users. That will be helpful in my new site for users. Yes. Yeah, I think it's gonna be really nice. And, because think of this: you go to a website and it says, "Oh, we've sent a code to your phone." We're used to that. Now there's not something in there sent a text to a phone, because you'd have to have some kind of connection or tool that does text. There's probably something, or something will come out for that. But we sent a code to your email, or tap on your security key to get in. They even have a thing here where let's see if I can find it. If I go to users, manage users, administrator, auth login. No authenticators have been set up. I think what I saw was this. If I can just go here very quickly, system, plugins. Let's clear this filter here. Let's see, it was it's this one here, one of the authentication ones. Web authentication. Oh, maybe it's the let's just check in here. I'm going to publish this. And then go user, manage, open a new tab. And we're going to go into here. No. Somewhere there was a list of print these codes and keep them in your wallet. And this is for this site. So if I click on here, I get a bunch of codes, so that if I ever am locked out, or I ever don't have my phone, or I don't have my key, I can always just go and enter in one of those codes. They're good for one time, and then you burn them. And you've probably seen that too. Let's close this here. Now, Michael says he agrees J4 makes the backend accessible for disabled developers. Yes. Justina works once for some sites that are companies that work with the government and require 5-way compliance. And you take that. You work on some sites. Yeah. Mary says it's pretty cool. Allison said, is it just me, or is that accessibility icon not square? It is not square. It is not square at all. It is off a little bit, and I wonder, that's probably by design, so it's just not doesn't turn sort of into a dot or something. Maybe it's easier to see if it's crooked a bit, or it's a parallelogram. Parallelogram is parallel on two sides, but there's not 90-degree angles in it. Yes. Oh, but Justina, right? Justina says it's a parallelogram. The icon leans to the left. Yes, that's because the person in that wheelchair is going so fast, the whole box is being stretched back from the aerodynamics of it. That's probably it. I'm guessing that's more of a visual cue. Here we go. Now let's go and let's refresh what's new here. Let's see here. Yeah. So follow the social media. Hey, you know what we should do here? First of all, let's have a wrench ceremony for Allison. Do 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 do. I made Allison a moderator. Allison, if you want to paste social media links in there, that people can follow for Joomla, that would be great. And then that way, hello Alexandra, good to see you. Yeah, it's a flash chair. Yes. So anyways, Allison, if you want to post a few social media links in there, like to, no, I'm not going to hit you with the wrench. You notice just about everybody in this place has a wrench. Anyone not have a wrench in here? I mean, it's nothing special to have a wrench. I just do it to let people paste links. Jose Marcos doesn't have one yet. When Jose needs to paste a link to something, we'll give him a wrench. But Bjorn says the icon is him in his electric wheelchair speeding. Yes. Bjorn, what is the maximum speed of your electric wheelchair? All right. There's the link to follow Twitter. Everybody, if you want to know when 4.2 is back available for update again, then definitely be following that because you'll get the information. I got a shout out from I got an email from Phil Taylor yesterday letting me know that there was issues with the update as well. So certainly if you are a MySites.guru user, you can always track things there. 10 kilometers, not fast, but you know what? I think 10 kilometers an hour sustained is probably faster than I can sustain. So you might win me on a walk or something like that. But it all depends on how far we were walking, right? Because if your battery runs down, eventually I'm going to catch up to you. So, all right, let's go back to chat on the right here. We've had some good number of people viewing today. Yeah, be careful in the bends. Mary starts your day at MySites.guru and avoid a lot of frustration yesterday. Yes. Mary and I also have an advantage. Because we are in the Pacific time zone. She's in Washington State. I'm in British Columbia. So a lot of the new stuff, when Joomla is released on a release day, a new version or something, it is while we are well, I'm usually asleep. I don't know, maybe Mary might be up feeding the goats or something like that, or up late. But yeah, so usually when I get up and get going finally by about 10 o'clock in the morning my time, I look. If there is some issue or something to take note of, it's already being discovered and it's being talked about. So I have sort of that built-in delay. Bjorn's range is 230 kilometers until empty. Okay, so yeah, 10 kilometers. All right, let's see. So you're 10 kilometers an hour maximum, 230 kilometers. So that would be, you can go for 23 hours at full speed probably. And 230. And yeah, so by the time your battery ran out, I don't think I would be catching up to you 230 kilometers later. You would definitely win. Let's see. Allison says the rental chairs I've had didn't go too quick either. Was a bit nervous touring around Ybor, Florida. Oh, I see. Yeah, okay. The chair, yeah, the electric. Okay, the rent electric wheelchairs, or electric chairs that you've had didn't go very quick either. Yeah. Oh, 30, not 230. Okay, I gotcha. So it's 30 kilometers. That's still 30 kilometers. I don't know if I could. I could probably walk 30 kilometers, but I would be sorry that I had done it. So, anyways, Alexander says the next Fast and Furious is boosted electric wheelchairs. Yeah, I'm sure if you looked online, there's probably some videos that somebody has Tim the Toolman tailored an electric wheelchair and made it fast. So put a Tesla battery in it and I don't know, something. All right, well, hey, everybody, you know, you're all a part of Joomla, and we're all a part of Joomla, but so thank you, each of you individually, for how you have helped my Joomla experience down through the years, all the different things that you've done, and your part on the channel here. More stuff is going to keep coming out for Joomla. That's exciting. they're already working on Joomla 4.3. And so we'll see what happens for that. Also, let's also mention too that Joomla 3 is end of life a year from today. Now, of course, there's still people using Joomla 1.5 and 2.5, and I remember too that I think it was it Joomla 1. Maybe it was 2.5. They came out with something that patched. After it was end of life, they came out with something just the same because it was such a big thing, and there's so many sites out there. I think that was like Joomla 2.5.28 is the highest version it got. Anyway, so Joomla 3 is going to be around for a long time. But I'll tell you, there's a lot of cool things in Joomla 4. I really like it. I've got my main company site switched over. I haven't done too many sites migrating to 4.2. Oh, and that gives me more, give you a little bit more information about something I said last week I wanted to tell you. But about my team and my co-op students. Because I was saying, I've been doing a lot of training and teaching on how to use Joomla and working on existing sites, and I've got them getting templates ready, but we've not done too many migrations. Some of the major things have, Kunina is now available for Joomla 4, and I did do an upgrade. Pro tip, with Kunina, you do the upgrade to the version compatible with Joomla 4 after the migration. So you go and you install it, and then you go to the control panel, and then it does migration. But I was kind of waiting for, I got some sites waiting for that. I've got a site, SH404 SEF, got a couple sites that I'm waiting for SEF to come through on. I've got, I'm using Hikashop for e-commerce now. It's compatible, and that worked with another project that needed to be switched to different systems. So anyway, so there's some big chunks that K2 is another one. I got some clients who have K2. I'm not, I'll be interested to see if K2 does actually come out with the Joomla 4 version. It's not out yet. They say they're going to come out with it. Anyway, so there's quite a few sites, that are waiting for some big chunks to get copied over. But Michael says he's worried about J4. Now I love it. You're worried about J4. Now you love it. Yeah. I think we hung in there, and of course a 4.2. A lot of stuff that's been found along the way that was in 4.0 is coming along nicely. You have a couple of client sites on J3 that changed very little for the past couple of years. You make the changes. How do I approach clients to charge for the update to J4? That's really interesting. We've got a number of people on here too that do that. So let's see your suggestions in there. Justina's the same with Michael. So Allison says, great to know you have a 3x with it. Yeah, the Kunina. Yeah, it worked really well. Remember in Kunina, they have the core template, and it's kind of not less than desirable. Kind of a funky way to change the templates too. But you could buy is it Eagle or Blue Eagle or something like that for like $10 or 10 and whatever the currency is, and then it works a bit better. This particular template that comes with Kunina is actually pretty nice. I found one place where the table column widths weren't ideal in one of the views, but was pretty happy with how it picked up the theme of the site. So I think it's there. And Mary helped on the beta stuff testing there too. So Justina said you encountered the same pricing question. You charge half the cost of what you initially designed a site. Since it was a new design, only an upgrade. It wasn't a new design, only an upgrade. And then Allison says she's wondering how she was going to handle that as well, dealing with hiccups. RJ, is K2 really needed now in Joomla 4.2? New ACL pretty much handles it standalone. All right, RJ, I'm just going to say this. No, it's not. It is not. So I said this before. This is, there's a community that loves K2 that are doing have done great stuff for years with K2. It is a lot of time invested into it by a company and by people. And so in no way do I want to hurt their feelings or be rude or not acknowledge that. But it is software that has, it's just software that has, everything's in Joomla. And so definitely it's not needed for a new site. I have a client that's really antsy to migrate to 4. They want a plan, and I said, and they have K2. They have a lot of items in K2, and I said, okay, so you're gonna have to move stuff. We're gonna have to move stuff from K2 to Joomla, and that. If I can just share on this screen here something very quick, just that makes my point, and I've sort of started writing an article on this. Computer screen, right capture here. I'm just going to type this in right. Google Grave. I may have showed this to you. Maybe I showed my team the other day. Google Graveyard. Killedbygoogle.com. If you go to killedbygoogle.com, I will just paste this here. Control V. These are all the projects and things that Google has done and tried or had that they have killed off over the years. I mean, look, we're doing some big scrolling here. So, sometimes software is not picked up. Sometimes software is no longer needed. So I'm just plainly and respectfully and humbly, my opinion is K2 is not needed. Now, there are some content creation kits, CCKs. So K2 is one. I use Page Builder CK. That is a content creation kit because I'm creating content in a page builder. But there are some similar to K2 that do have a Joomla 4 version out. And I would say, you know what, if there's something compatible for Joomla 4, you've got a lot of stuff in it, even if it's not needed, you might want to just update the 4 anyways with the latest version because you're used to using. That's fine. We all add stuff to Joomla that is not core to Joomla, and we may have some stuff that's not needed because there is stuff that's core to Joomla, right? But we've got things that we like. So yeah, that's fine. But again, I just don't want to hurt any feelings. I don't want to create any problems for anybody. But I don't think K2 is necessary. And for simplicity, I think I would move things out. But again, there's probably some element of something I don't understand there for why people would keep using it. But anyways, Google's killed a lot of stuff. And in fact, you take a look at even what we're looking at today, my plugin with Alexandra for front-end edit buttons. Suddenly it's in the core now. Well, what am I going to... Are we going to sell that plugin because it also has a save and new that's not in there? I mean, we're just going to let it go. When Alexander read that, he called me last night. He says, front-end edit buttons is dead. I was just looking at 4.2. They've added it, so it's dead for, it's dead. It still works in 3, and we have it available for 3. But sometimes, in software, you just have to let it go. All right. Ivor says, a couple of interesting... Oh, a couple of incentives to go to Joomla 4. Faster site, more secure. Yes. Mary agrees with my Kunina template review. You're welcome for the Kunina tips there, Allison. Yes, Justina notices that the sites are faster. I've got to get this video together. And now, as soon as I can update the site to 4.2, maybe I can already. I've told you, I've got a video coming out that compares a Joomla 3 version of a website with Asteroid framework. Nothing personal, it just happened to be an Asteroid, but a framework. Joomla 3, the same site in Joomla 3 with a template creator CK template, which is not a framework, and then that same site migrate it to 4, running the same thing with the same template, just for some speed tests and comparisons. And yeah, there are speed things along. So I got to get that together. It's just a matter of I got a little bit of long COVID, everybody. I don't know, a super bad case, but there's no maintenance Monday on this past Monday. I didn't do a video because I thought I've got to start getting better rest. I've got two kinds of tired right now. One is the tired I can control by going to bed, like putting an end to my workday and say, okay, I'm going to bed and getting sleep. And this other COVID crazy thing, I just have to wait, right? And Justina says, might also be because of the newer PHP version too. That's a good point. Because each of the consecutive PHP versions are getting faster and faster as well. So all the more reason, use something current so you can use the fastest. It's like in Ontario when I was there in June, end of May and June, early June. Along the QEW, there's high occupancy vehicle lanes, HOV lanes, and so why not? And get into the lane that's faster. Do what you can to qualify for the lane that's faster. I had enough people in the car so I could. So same thing. If Joomla 4 will use PHP 8 or 8.1, and those are faster, then you're going to be faster on top of fast. Leon, why in the new Joomla Bootstrap 5.2 was not installed? You're from Ukraine. Oh, you're from Ukraine, and you're watching, and we're watching you in Ukraine, Leon. I hope that you're safe. Of course, there's a level of not safety in Ukraine. But anyways, why was it not installed? I don't know. I didn't know that it was not installed. I wonder. I just don't know about that stuff. I'm not a programmer, or a developer in that sense. Maybe I do know that. Well, first of all, I don't know when 5.2 came out. I do know some of the things that we have in Joomla 4.2 now are actually things that were suggested for 4.1, but either took too long to develop or came up when 4.1 was already, hey, we're not doing anything new. Because if you keep adding new things, the thing never gets out because of testing. So it could be if 5.2 came out after they had closed when Joomla 4.2 to any new features, then it would not have made it in. But I don't know about 5.2 or Bootstrap 5 as far as the logistics and the timing and the development of it when it comes out and when it's not out. So, but that's that I don't know. I could agree with things. There's Allison's answer. Leon, non-breaking, beyond our templates, etc. Our extension devs just had to redo all their work for 4. Okay. I think in the core though, the core templates they're 5, are they not? I thought that they were 5. Didn't 5 get switched just at the last second, or very close to the end before Joomla 4 came out? Alexander says, pay us anyway. No notice in the group yet on 4.2.1 release. Yes, and that's probably what's going to happen. I was wondering, Allison, if they were going to, with 4.2.0 being pulled back, they probably will be 4.2.1. So. Yes, last minute and dev interfaces had to get reprogrammed. So, that is, I'm caught up on chat. So we can keep talking, that's fine. So remember last week I told you that 3 of my co-op students were done at the end of August. I've had co-op students working for me. I had one in January to April, and now May to August I had that original one and 3. And I told you that there's no more funding this fall for co-op students, and so I decided I was just going to hire the one that I've had since January. So I called him up and I contacted him and said, hey, there's no more funding, but I want to hire you. So let's get on a meeting and talk about what that would look like. He says, great. So we get into the meeting. I'm talking to him. And these are all students, and they're all they're still in school. And I said to him, hey, I'd like to hire you. And we're talking about it. And he says, and actually, he says, I just accepted a new co-op position. He wants to be a programmer. He wants to develop. He wants to make. He wants to make. This is not his stated goal in life, but he wants to make more money. A lot of money. You know, I make more money than I'm making because I'm not a developer. Anyways, so a long time ago, like I like all of these students, and this guy's a great click. He knows my business really well. I realized that at some point he was going to tell me that he had a job or was graduating or was doing something else. So I intentionally planned in my life, in my head. It's like the day when Gernur tells me that he is going to something else, my first reaction is going to be happy for him. And by having that plan, then I basically, talk about making things process and order, like the quick icons. Basically, I eliminate whatever my next reaction would be, whether that's sadness or crying or whatever. And I just didn't think it would happen so soon. So the long story, the gist of it is that he's finished at the end of August as well. So I'm happy for him. It's where he's doing his co-op is a place that does developing. And just because you're here on the channel and you've been watching to the end. Michael says I could be facing a hostile takeover. Yeah. Tomorrow I'm interviewing all of them for the channel because they are all new Joomla users. They're all new to Joomla. Gernur, but they've done some HTML stuff and some coding because of their university training and projects that they've been involved in. But I've taught them from scratch how to build a Joomla site. They're doing templates with Template Creator CK, adding content, using the page builder. They've had some contact with clients, so it's been really, really good, and I've enjoyed it. So tomorrow we're having a Zoom call. I'm going to record it, and I'm going to put it on the channel. An interview with 4 new Joomlers, and we're going to talk about Joomla and their impressions and have some fun with that. So. So I thought that would be a fun thing to do with them. It's funny, they're super nervous. I said, okay, everybody, don't worry, it's not going to be live. And they're like, oh, okay, great. I said, I'll record it and then I'll edit it if I have to edit some parts or something like that. And they said, well, is there a dress code? Should we? And I said, no, just what we're working in, whatever we're it's fine. Nothing. I said, wear something that promotes a business that you own. And then I said to them, look, I can guarantee that more people are not going to watch this than are going to watch it. I guaranteed to them that less than half the population of the earth was going to watch this video. So it will be interesting. In fact, you want to help me out? This would be great because I was going to write some questions. Do you have any ideas of questions that you would suggest? Now, I'm going to say suggest because I know some of you are going to come up with some crazy ideas. But what questions should I ask these new Joomlers? That help me prep for that. That would be good to ask them about, so they're going to introduce themselves, talk a bit about their plans and what they're studying and things like that. But in relation to Joomla and them being new Joomlers, what would you be interested in knowing? And these are not people that have built websites in other CMSs or at other places. They are very intelligent and very, very lovely young people who, this is their first exposure to that. So, if you have an idea for some questions there, so. Yes, sirree. Let's go back to, let's change chit chat on the right here. So, I'll wait for you if you've got a couple of questions. Otherwise, I'll find something to ask them, but. one, yeah. I'm gonna ask them what they think about it. Of course, what's their favorite part? That's a good question. Yeah. Did you find it easy to use? Okay. Yeah, which leads into a good question. What was the hardest? What's the hardest? I've shown them some things very briefly about overrides and fields. In 4 months you can't pick up everything. But I will tell you this: my friend Rick and his website smartdrivetest.com, which is the Joomla Moodle bridge site, one of the ones that I do. It's actually just one that I do right now. And I had them working not on the Moodle aspect, but setting up the conversion, switching over to Hikashop, setting up modules for that, custom CSS, changing things around, convert forms, setting up forms. I've had them working on my own sites doing that. What would you like to see next? Yeah. Yeah, Google Summer of Code. I don't know if they. I don't know if that's. I should mention that to them. I understand too from the programming perspective. What surprised you most about Joomla? Okay, good question. Yeah, this is working out great. These are great questions. Most. What do you feel is lagging? Hey, William, happy Joomla birthday to you. What is lacking? Okay. Okay, what surprised you most? Okay. It's great. I'm going to have to copy this chat too so I can mention who it was that asked. Yeah, I know that on top of all of the programming, like PHP or JavaScript or the things that are used, that there's also there's also I don't even know the proper term, but a flavor, or there's also a layer or a component that is unique for programming for how Joomla works as well. So, would they recommend Joomla to others? Yeah. These are great questions. All right. Yeah. I don't know if Joomla, Google Summer of Code. I guess that's a great training opportunity too, though, for them to learn how to do that too. And if so, why? Joomla questions. Would you recommend it? Yeah, let's go up here at the top. Would you recommend it? And if so, why? All right. Okay. Yeah, get a project under their belt and mentoring, yeah. I really, I'll tell you, this, some of you heard me say this before, this experience for me has been very much like a co-op for myself as well. Because back in October, I got an email saying, yeah, here's funding from the federal government and the provincial government. You can get 100% of a student's salary covered for up to $10,000 for 16 weeks. It's 40 hours a week for 16 weeks. And I read that and I thought, oh, that sounds like a lot of things to learn and work. Yeah, it's not for me. So then I deleted that email and I went to bed later on that night, and I'm lying there in bed, and all of a sudden it popped in my head, and it was like, "You dummy, what are you doing? Free money to have someone work in your business? That's crazy." So, anyways, but I don't like details. I don't like forms. It's just like, and since I've gone full time, which is coming up at the end of 5 years at the end of October, I'm on a constant grind and learning curve for new things, and they're not all in my wheelhouse. So, anyways, fast forward now that I've had the one for the first 4 months and now 4 for the summer, and managing and having to do forms. I had to get them on payroll. I had to do taxes. I've learned a ton, and consequently, a lot of the things that I was avoiding or didn't like to do, I've had to do them, and I've done them so many times. It's not as painful anymore. So, which has really been a real blessing. I'm thankful to God for the way that has worked out, because now that there's no funding for them, and so it'll be a while before I can hire another one. I'm in a better place than I was, much better place than I was 10 months ago, and that's going to allow me to move. And of course, I told you guys about my business coach who passed away about 3 weeks ago. Went to his celebration of life on Saturday. It was like absolutely amazing, the most incredible celebration of life I've ever been to. Ended with a variation of Johnny Cash song "Ain't No Grave." So that was, anyways, the whole thing was great. It was 2 hours, but it was just so good. Anyways, so I'm 10 months later, I'm in this really cool place where now I've got some new tools and some new experience. And so when Allison mentioned mentorship, for them to go to GSOC and get some membership and some training, and that mentorship and helping others along is really important. Which is, I'm not sure if that was everything I was going to say. Have you made a website by another method? Yeah, great. Write that down there. Oh, what were your expectations? That's great. Yeah, I like that one, William. What expectations versus reality? Actually experience, yeah. Oh, I'm really excited about this. I was thinking, I could come up with some questions might be kind of lame, but I like that. This is really good. Really, really, really good. Yeah, so that yeah. Oh, now, just going to tell you about this if you guys are thinking any more questions, but a big shout out to Mary, because she sent me an email on Monday saying that she had tried an artificial intelligence content creator, and she had never thought of it before. And so and I guess she was watching a video that had Brian Tiemann in it, but and he was talking about it. But anyways, I've thought, artificial blah 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 blah. Artificial content creation. It's just going to sound. It's just going to sound like just goofy. I kind of thought it was like, well, I need an article about dogs, so you put it in dogs, and then the thing writes it and looks it from other places. And I thought it can't be saying what you want to say, But anyway, so it turns out that the tool is amazing, because what it does is that you put in what you've written, and then it sort of rewrites and expands upon it, and it also makes up some stuff, so you know what to fill in. So we were putting through the team member descriptions from the that I have on the website for team members, these co-op students, and it would say, oh, so and so likes to spend time with his wife and kids at home. Well, he's not married, doesn't have kids, but the whole thing is that now that that's written, you can at least go in and say, oh, he likes to spend time with his girlfriend, and just fill things out like that. So, yes, Alexandra, I am making everyone do my homework. Well, and the great thing too is that one of the things I liked about these students is that you want to hear more about the AI. William's been using it. Okay, I'll hook you up with the link to this thing. Let me just go here. What screen are we looking at here? Okay, AppSumo. AppSumo. And the great thing is, we've been talking about AppSumo. Let's see. Go in here. I thought I had applied to this thing here. That pages mesh thing. Something not working. All right. Let me just find this here. Go. Let me just find this on here. Yeah. So William says they're actually really good. So what Mary was touting as a success for it was that we all have a hard time getting content from our clients, but if you can get them to write a little bit, this AI expands it, and then you can get them to fill it in. What I like about it is that I just send a proposal to someone on a project, and the other night I wish that I'd had it before, because it actually reworded a lot of what I was saying. I mean, you can read it afterwards. You don't have to use it if you don't want. But it did a much better presentation. And actually, I ran the text on my homepage, and it came up with some much better copy than I could have on my own. Yes, Michael, like getting blood from a stone. Let me just find this here. Products, and I will create an AI writing tool. Okay. Let's see here. Product. And I will. Oh, that's my redemption code. I don't want to show that. I want to. Okay, I found it here. So it is this here. And actually, right now, with AppSumo, you get the lifetime deal. And I'll tell you about it. Hey, while we're on here, I'll just show it to you. All right, here's the link to it. RJ Blackburn says, you've worked with CMSs since Mambo days and have found that you work with what you have in each new release. It's like a box of chocolates. Yes. Yes. That's the link for that. Now, listen, you can go and create a free membership at Creator.ai tour. Share a full screen camera right here. Okay, so I actually thought I had an affiliate program with them to share links, but it looks like they've changed things. So yeah, sometimes the lack of client content. Yeah. So if you go to Creator.ai, you can go to, and you can create a free account first just to try it out. But the free account limits you to 20,000 characters. And I found that I burned through those 20,000 characters very, very quickly, like in just doing 3 or 4 tests with my team there. Now, the pricing is $29 a month for 50,000 characters. That I burned through, like I said, 20,000 in about 20 minutes trying it out. And there it says translation. You get translation form included here, right? Okay. Anyways, but with this particular deal, you get unlimited characters per month. So it's $89 US one time. Some of you were on the live stream with me a while ago. I talked about how I like AppSumo, and I showed some of the apps that I'd used. Or maybe that was in a team meeting. But anyways, these are companies that are starting out. They're looking for testers. They're looking for members. And so they give you can buy a code, and it's lifelong. So it's probably for life of their product. So let me just show you how this works here. I'm going to log in, and let's say that let's say you wanted to put a bio. All right, so let's go up here on the left side here. I'm going to search for, do they have one for bio? A company bio, a personal bio, LinkedIn, TikTok. All right, so I'm going to go, let's click on company bio, and I'm just going to type something in here. I like to build websites with Joomla. I have been doing that since 17 from this would be 2005, right? 2005. My favorite kind of client is someone who likes to learn. All right, so, and I'm gonna put like this, Joomla. Now watch, that's 130 characters. I'm just gonna go create here. And the little bar is moving up there. And now here's some suggestions. I've been a Joomla developer. Well, you know I'm not a developer, right? But it's picked up websites. So you could go and you could just edit this if you want. I love working with clients who are willing to learn new things and grow their business online. Well, I never thought about that, but that's not in my original text, but maybe I would think, hey, that sounds better. Or here's another option. I've been building websites with Joomla since 2005, and I love it. My favorite kind of client is someone who is willing to learn new things. All right, so, and that's who likes to learn. They've changed it to learn new things. I like helping people build websites using Joomla. It's a great platform, and I've been doing it since 2005. I really enjoy working with clients who want to learn. So, see, it sort of has rewritten that, and immeasurably, these sort of have a different bit of a flow to them than what I put up there. So it helps. Now, if someone sends you a very rough paragraph and it's not very polished, but it's got the facts in it, this is a cool thing just to run through this AI assistant. And I'm pretty impressed with it. Now, tone of voice down here, let's put in serious. And let's create this again and see. William says he loves them so much that he started offering copyright services that pays for itself. I'm going to have to take a look at this new link. Yes. William, I saw this and I thought, you know what? I could offer copyright as a service to my clients with this. I guess because literally, if they're building a new site and I say to them, what's your mission? What do you want to do? Just write it out in 4 or 5 sentences. What I can do is I can give it back to them. I could give it back to them and say, hey, here's a draft of what could be written. There's some stuff that's made up in here, but just fill it in and change it, and we'll be good to go. All right, so look, I've been thinking about what social media is, and I think it's a way to connect with others. It's a way to share information and to connect with people who have similar interests. It's a way to stay connected with friends and family and to meet new people. So, I mean, it really has nothing. It doesn't mention Joomla or anything like that, but so that's kind of miss. I am a web developer. Yeah, there you go. If you're looking for someone to help you build a website with Joomla, I'm your girl. I've been doing it since 2005, and I love helping people how to learn, use the platform. Well, I'm not anyone's girl, but I could be I'm your guy. And it's not necessarily, that's really not serious. Oh, and look at this. I never saw this before. I can check and click emojis. And the target audience, let's say adults. We'll try that again. I've been building websites with Joomla. Oh, I'm a web developer specializing in Joomla websites. I've been doing this since 2005. My favorite client. Yeah, so something was similar. I always excited to help my clients learn and grow along with their website. So that was anyways, you get all these different AI assistants here. headline, blog intro, blog buddy, Facebook ad title. So again, my perception of this was that these were things you just clicked on and you had them, gave them a topic and they wrote something. I thought that's dumb, but no, what you do is you put in what you've written and see what it comes up with. Let's try a real life example from one of my proposals. Let's go here, app tools, quoters. Let's see if one of these, okay, so I'm going to just go in here. Let's see. Here's a paragraph from one of the proposals I sent out. Oh, and Michael says at a base level, MS Word or Google Docs offer quite good suggestions for composition. That's a good tip. Let's just go to paraphrase. They have a paraphrase content one. So I'm going to paste in this paragraph from a proposal, which is, we recognize that no two websites or online businesses are the same. Some companies and organizations have strong in-house staff volunteers, while others are not able to cover even the basics. We're happy to customize the following package uniquely for you. Now, so they've done a little bit of synonym work here. We understand that every website and online business is different. Some companies have strong in-house staff, while others can't even cover the basics. So there's a little bit of a change there. So we're happy to tailor the following package just for you. We understand that each website and online business is unique, period. Some companies and organizations have strong in-house staff or volunteers. Others may not even be able to cover the basics. We would be happy to customize the following package. So instead of saying we are happy, it's actually changing it from, I think, is that the passive to that. And then here's a very personal one. I'm happy to customize the following package uniquely for you, recognizing that no two websites or online businesses are the same. So the companies and so some companies have strong in-house staff volunteers. Others are not able to cover even the basics. So tied in with Grammarly, and you get a kick-butt content suite. Anyway, so that's true. So listen, I think for me the big deal, the big tool that's got me most excited here about this is that I really struggle and labor to get my proposals out. The proposal that I sent out late Saturday night, is actually very early Sunday morning before I went to bed. I wish I had run it through this, because it probably would have not only done spell check, but would have helped things flow. Maybe shortened down. I did play with one paragraph afterwards and realized, oh yeah, that's much shorter, much better. But the great thing is, now that I have that proposal done, I have another proposal to get out for a client. Told them that they've been waiting for. I've been putting it off for a long time because I hate doing this stuff. But I told them I'd have it to them Monday morning for the in their mailbox Monday morning for them. But I'm going to go through this other proposal, duplicate it. I'm going to customize it for them, because some names need to change in that. And then I'm going to run it through this AI assistant, and it'll probably come up with something a bit more generic that I'll be able to have a collection of and use in others. But basically, we all have those things where we get in that headspace where it's just like, oh, I hate doing this, I don't want to do it, I'll put it off. Oh, another YouTube video, I'll watch that. Or, oh, it's time to pick weeds. Or, oh, maybe now's the time to go through some old files on my computer. I want to clean up my hard drive. We just find all kinds of ways to procrastinate because we just don't like the feeling of the thing that we don't like to do. And the feeling that we don't like is like, oh, I'm not good at this. Is this going to work? This could be better. We have such a high level of expectation. The great thing here is that I found it takes what I've done, either makes it better or shows me how I can make it better. And I'm learning that better than what I could have done is preferable in many ways to perfection, because I've just got to get things going. So Yeah, the avoiding responsibility rabbit hole. Exactly, Justina. And, I can sell. I see opportunities all over. I had a lady call me yesterday, referral from a friend who has a computer store here. She says, "Oh, Ron told me to call you. I'm looking for a website." And she's just starting out. She probably can't afford my rates if I were going to charge her everything. But she talked about what she wanted to do, and my mind just started rushing into ideas like, oh, if we use this extension, she could she could display events that she has planned at restaurants, and da 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 da. And it's like, yeah, that's great. Now, for me to put together a proposal and suggest all of that is just agony for me. Oh, it's great. If I explain it to her, that's good. But as you know, explaining to a client what you're proposing to do isn't the same as having an agreement that can work later on when they've paid you a down payment and then they change everything and you say, oh, that's not what we talked about. And they say, yes, it is. So it's good to have proposals all together. And yeah, done is better than perfect. I like that. I like that very much. And yeah, Allison said she has one of those. So so this is something, of course. And if I'm not getting proposals out, or if I'm landing clients or getting new projects, and I'm not doing a proposal with them, I'm gonna have some real pain because something's not gonna work out. But if I'm not getting new clients because I hate doing proposals, then I'm not landing new clients. And then I get stressed because, like as I've said before, I have an addiction to eating. Sometimes I eat 3 times a day, sometimes even more. So I'm super excited about this. And yeah. So that's a great deal on AppSumo if you want to check that out. I'll tell you this, when Mary sent me that link email saying that she had bought that and was interesting, so I was in a meeting with my team. I said, hey, let's take a look at this, sort of like a mentoring, exploring time as well. And so I was looking at it, and I was like, oh yeah, and then I started getting excited about it, and I said to them, I said to my team, I said, I did not wake up this morning planning to spend 89 American dollars. But when I realized how that could help me, I just said to myself, oh, yeah, I said to them, I said, I'm going to buy this. Especially when my 20,000 character test ran out. I said to them, I'm going to buy this because this is going to help. So, alrighty. Well, what time are we here? We are 10 after 8. Everybody, I think we should probably wrap it up there. But thank you so much for the help with the questions for that video tomorrow. That is going to be awesome. There's ideas in that there that I was not even thinking about. You see the links in the chat to follow us on social media for when updates are available, when 4.2.1 is out. I'll also be doing one of my update videos as well. I think I might separate my Joomla 3 update videos and my Joomla 4 videos now that 3 is just in security maintenance. Just to keep them kind of separate and quick. But yeah, it's been great to spend this part of Joomla's birthday with you. Again, I really mean it. I appreciate what all of you have done, what all we have done together as a community, and with Joomla, and how it has enriched our lives and improved our lives through the community, through the sites that we can build and the things that we can do. The opportunity to make a little bit of money, or maybe more and more money along the way with Joomla, and it's and just the how the fun creative outlet it is for us, and of course it's cool to get new stuff, and so those things that we looked at today is really cool. Let me just take a look at chat there. Yeah, you are welcome, Mary, Bjorn, Alexandra, Michael, Allison, and Allison says, yeah, 3 updates is a non-thing now. So everybody watching, it has been great. Those of you that stuck to the end here, that is wonderful. And so until the next time, everyone, I hope wherever you are, be it morning, afternoon, evening, or tomorrow, that you are well. Until the next time, enjoy your Joomla sites, and God bless.